next question says, line 1 has equation x plus 6y equals to 9. Write down the equation of a line parallel to line 1. So when two lines are parallel, basically they share the same gradient. So first we need to rearrange this equation and make it like the slope intercept form. So that's going to be 6y equals to negative x plus 9 and y equals to negative x over 6 plus 9 over 6. Now the 9 over 6 can be further simplified to plus 3 over 2. So over here, this line has the gradient of negative 1 over 6. So we can write the equation for any line which has the same gradient. So we can say y equals to negative x over 6 plus 1. The y-intercept can be any value. What has to remain same is the gradient. And the next part it says line 2 has the equation y equals to 2x minus 1. Write down the equation of a line perpendicular to line 2. So as you can see, in the first case, we were talking about the line parallel to line 1. Now we're talking about the line perpendicular to line 2. So in perpendicular lines, your m1 times m2 equals to negative 1. m1 is the gradient of line 1 and m2 is the gradient of the line perpendicular to line 1. So in this case, our m1 is going to be 2. So m1 times m2 equals to negative 1, which means 2 times m2 equals to negative 1. And the gradient of the perpendicular line is negative 1 over 2. So gradient of the line perpendicular to line 2 is negative 1 over 2. So the equation can be y equals to negative 1 over 2x plus 3, let's say. Once again, the y-intercept can be anything, but the restriction is on the gradient. In parallel lines, the gradient is exactly the same for both the lines, whereas in the perpendicular lines, the gradient is different. Next question says, a large bottle of cola is 18 centimeters tall. A small bottle is 12 centimeters tall. Bottles are mathematically similar. David claims the small bottle contains 2/3 the amount of cola than the large bottle. Show he's wrong. So whenever we have like two objects or like shapes similar to each other, and we're talking about the volume, because in liquids, like we use volume to measure liquids, we don't use the area. So L1 over L2 whole cube would equal to volume 1 over volume 2. This is the equation that we're going to use. Over here, let's say that the small bottle is L1 and the large one is L2. So 12 over 18 whole cube equals to volume 1, which is for the small bottle, and volume 2, which is volume of the large bottle. So 12 over 18 can be simplified to 2 over 3. So 2 over 3 cube is V1 over V2. Whereas David was claiming that small bottle V1 equals to 2/3 of V2, which is the volume of the large bottle. So according to David, V1 over V2 is equal to 2 over 3. Whereas in reality, V1 over V2 is cube of 2 over 3. So this is where David is wrong. Next question says, draw y equals to x squared plus 2x minus 3. We have this quadratic equation. Please sketch this. In order to sketch a quadratic equation, what we need is the y-intercept, the x-intercept, and the turning point. That is one way. The other way is that you make a table of values, like let's say you take values from -4 to +4, and then you sketch your graph according to that. Personally, I prefer like finding the x-intercept, y-intercept, and the turning point, because that's like quicker. So to find the y-intercept, we put x equals to 0. So when you put x equals to 0, y equals to 0 squared plus 2 times 0 minus 3, which is going to give us -3. So one coordinate is 0, -3. To find the x-intercept, we will put y equals to 0. So 0 equals to x squared plus 2x minus 3. So that's going to be 0 equals to x squared plus 3x minus x minus 3, which is basically going to be 0 equals to x times x plus 3 and -1 times x plus 3. Take x plus 3 common. So that's going to be x plus 3 times x minus 1. So one value is -3 and the other one is +1. So the coordinates are going to be -3, 0 and 1, 0. These are our x-intercepts. Now for the turning point, what we will do is we'll use the equation x equals to -b over 2a. So the quadratic equation, the quotient of x squared is a and the quotient of x is b. So that's going to give us -2 over 2 times 1, which is -1. So that means your x value of the turning point is -1. So to find the y value, what we will do is we will substitute it in the quadratic equation. Let me just erase this part. So that's going to be y equals to -1 squared plus 2 times -1 minus 3, which is 1 minus 2 minus 3, which is -4. So -1, -4 is our turning point. So we have the turning point, we have the x-intercept, and we have the y-intercept. So you can easily sketch these points. So 0, -3 is over here. -3, 0 is over here. 1, 0 is over here. And -1 and -4 is over here. So these are your main points. You can just connect them. And that will give you your quadratic curve. Like, it's a little untidy because obviously I'm doing it freehand. Like when you do it on the paper, like it's gonna look better. Alternative method is to make a table of values. So if we erase this, you can make a table of values like this. And like assume a set of values for x. So you can begin with, like I said, -4, -3, -2, -1, 0, then 1, 2, 3, something like this. And then you substitute these x values in the equation, this quadratic equation, and whatever values of y you get, you write them down in the table, and then you plot these coordinates on the graph and connect the dots to make your graph. Whichever method you find better to use, like just use that, and you'll get the same answer. Next, it says solve the simultaneous equations below graphically. So since we have to solve it graphically, what you will do is, let me just go back to the graph. Okay. So this was our graph. And they're asking us to solve it graphically. So first we need to sketch the graph of the linear equation, which is x plus y plus 1 equals to 0. So x plus y plus 1 equals to 0. Let's put x equals to 0. So 0 plus y plus 1 equals to 0, which means y equals to -1. So one point is 0, -1. And if we put y equals to 0 to find the x-intercept, that's going to be x plus 0 plus 1 equals to 0. It's going to be x equals to -1 as well. So -1, 0 is the other point. So -1, 0 is this, and 0, -1 is this. It's going to be something like this, and you'll get 2 points of intersection. One will be over here like this, and the other will be here. So Once again, since it's like a freehand drawing, it's not very accurate. So I might not be getting the exact values, but like obviously they'll give you a range of values in the answer key. So this is one solution, this point over here. This is one solution, and this is the other solution, this point. These two solutions are your answer. Next question says solve using the quadratic formula. So we have this quadratic equation and they want us to find the values of x using the quadratic formula. Quadratic formula is x equals to negative b plus minus root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. A is 2, b is 1, and c is negative 8. As you can see, a is the coefficient of x squared, b is the coefficient of x, and c is the constant. So that's going to be negative 1 plus minus root of 1 square minus 4 times 2 times negative 8 divided by 2 times 2. 1 plus minus root of 65 divided by 4. So one value of x is 1 plus root 65 over 4, which gives us 2.266. And the other is x equals to 1 minus root 65 over 4, which gives us 1.766. So these are your two solutions for this quadratic equation.